There we go. All right. Charles, thank you
Jim,
for your yes, sir.
Jim, can I add something to the SMC question a second ago? To build on what Matt
please, Kerry, go ahead.
Yeah, all right. To build on what Matt said, there's a few moving parts here that most people don't understand. And as Matt said, the law is kind of clear on this. VA gets it wrong all the time. If you've had a rating decision in the past year, let's say that rating granted you 100%, and you think you warrant aid and attendance. Let's say you don't think you have complete loss of use of the hands or feet, but you need some help dressing, bathing, all that kind of stuff. I would appeal that decision for a higher rate than the 100% to include SMC as well as aid and attendance. Okay. But let's just say you're getting 100%. It's been a while, and you want to file for an increase. You don't have anything to appeal. Then you want to file for your basic increase rating. I would suggest downloading a 2680 if you can. It's a form that talks about aid and attendance. Give it to your doctor, see if they can fill that out for you. Submit that along with your claim. What you'll run into when you try to appeal sometimes for a higher level to include SMC is VA come back saying, well, you haven't filed a claim for SMC, so we don't have to consider SMC. And what Matt was saying, it's already built into the law. If they're rating your case and they see you're in a wheelchair and you can't walk, they should automatically include SMC based on loss of use of the feet when they rate that case. All right, but they don't always do that. So you got to kind of know how to squeeze in between their lines sometimes, because don't buy their BS about, oh, you haven't filed a claim for SMC, so we don't have to consider it. The only time that really comes into play is if you don't have anything pending, you don't have a claim, you're already getting benefits, and you just want to come back in and file for a higher rating to include SMC based on aid and attendance, SMC based on loss of use, something like that. And like Matt said, make that clear. But when you see them say, we don't have to consider that, you didn't file for it, that's your red flag that they got it wrong. Right.
From my personal standpoint, I was given service connection, and after the CNP exams, got my disability rating at 100%. But as the decision letter came to me, they gave me service connection with 0%. I was rated at 0% by the Board of Veterans Appeals, so I'm now asking Hill Ponton to help me get that special monthly compensation. Charles, again, thank you for your patience.
Jim, real quick, the form that Kerry referred to, the 2680, I put that in the chat. There's a hyperlink to that. I think it's time-stamped like 12:25 Eastern time. So y'all can just grab that. And that has good information in there, even if you're not looking for aid and attendance, but as far as what they're looking for loss use.
Thank you, because that's you, and you can all access that at the chat where it says how many chats there. Look for that link. Matt put that up there for us. Charles, forgive all the delays. You have been patient, and I thank you for your patience. Please share your questions with us.
No problem. Just three quick things. First of all, Jim, I'd like to thank you and everybody involved that's been helping me out. Second of all, I'm happy for Suds, and I hope it don't take me that 12 years to get my approval. Third thing, I went for my CNP exam. I'd like to give you an update on that. After being postponed one time for a whole month, on May 1st, I drove 82 miles up to Optum Serve and had my wife wheel me into the office in a wheelchair. And after a 15-minute question and answer period, I asked the 2-year nurse practitioner if there was anything else, and she said no, that the VA had sent her the papers. So to sum it up, after a 15-minute question and answer period, my CNP exam was over.
Have you received any result or any correspondence from the VA after that CNP exam?
No, they said 4 to 6 weeks. and I went on May 1st. So he said it'd take
Well,
about 4 to 6 weeks.
I can't cross my fingers anymore, but I'll cross my ankles and hope for the best for you here. If I could cross my fingers, I would.
Yeah, okay,
Keep
thank
us
you.
informed, Charles. Keep us informed as to what happens with that, because we can put that into our database and use it.
Okay.
So good luck. We'll hope and pray for the best for you. Michael,
Thank you.
you have been also very patient, and I thank you. Please share your questions with us. If you would be kind enough to unmute yourself, we could hear you. There you go. Good morning.
Yeah, I'm brand new to you. Appreciate the lawyers putting out the information through TMA, which directed me here. I was 17 years in the Air Force before they decided that they didn't want to pay me a pension, so I was let go. But I was diagnosed in December 2016 with IBM, and very much like yourself, Jim, I had self-diagnosed and forced various things through my doctors, and was able to be lucky enough to take the special gene test that Washington State was doing, which came up positive for it. And also lucky enough to get a doctor at the local university hospital who was in the muscular dystrophy section to take one look at me and said, "I know what you got."
Oh my.
And I said, and she was right. And so I got my diagnosis there. But I've been very, very lucky. I had a physical therapist who immediately said, "Oh, I've heard about this. I want to really learn about IBM, and you're going to be my special person, and we're going to go through with this." Well, as a result, I have been doing exercises that she has given me, and I am still pretty much ambulatory in most any way. I need a rollator when I go out for any length of time, and like others have said, I use the rollator because I can set the high seat so that I don't have to sit in one of those little plastic chairs.
Yeah.
And somebody hauled me out. But my question is, I have never applied to the VA for anything. I've been lucky enough to have very good medical insurance from the places that I worked, and an excellent salary, so I've been able to get what I need. But I do have IBM. It is getting worse.
Michael, I think you're
Really
frozen up
need
there.
to,
Yeah, there you go. You've been
really
Michael,
need
go
a
ahead.
walker. Go ahead, Jim.
I was just going to say you locked up there. I think your computer froze up there, but go ahead. You're back on. You're good.
All right. But yeah, both, I'm now really needing to have that lift seat that I bought for my toilet. I'm, really need my rollator. I'm having problems starting to be able to grip things, but I'm really not in any way, shape, or form what I would call disabled. I can really get around and mobile and do things. My real question is, I don't feel I'm going to get, if I went to some kind of VA place and said, "Okay, what can't you do?" There's not a lot I can't do. I've been lucky. I'm getting worse, but I've been lucky. Is it really worth me trying to go through the IBM submission through the VA when I've never been interacting with the VA before and not really at the late stages of this terrible, awful, lousy disease?
You are like so many others, myself included. I was okay. I was walking around okay, but then I started using a cane. That worked, and for a couple, then you went to a rollator because the cane wouldn't support me anymore. Now I'm in a wheelchair. Michael, the disease is progressive. The disease does not stop. It can't be reversed. It can't be removed. It's going to continue. Put the claim in. There is no question in my mind that you should not. You should put that claim in. We can help you with it. We have documentation that'll help. And because you're going to be advancing in this disease as we all do. And it's something where if you have this disease, we have made the connection now for service connection. And I urge you to file that claim. You've got my email address. Contact me. I can give you an enormous amount of supporting documentation, and I would encourage you strongly to submit that claim, as I would every veteran here that has not. Please submit a claim.
To add to that,
any comments from Matt on that?
yeah, I was going to say, to add to that, first of all, you all served our country. Congress statutory implemented benefits for that they recognized your service, what you've done. You're entitled to these benefits. Now, as far as the severity of the IBM right now, I'm happy for you that it's not severe, that you're up and getting around. But as Jim said, now's the time to apply, because that front end of making them concede that it's related to service, we don't know how long that's going to take. We had a gentleman here that it took less than a year. That's phenomenal. We have SUDS that's taken them 12 years. You want to get that part taken care of, because if and when you do deteriorate, we want a quick turnaround on getting you more benefits, on getting you a caregiver. And that happens a lot faster once they've already conceded that's related to service. So if you win and they only give you 30% now, that doesn't matter. But what we don't want is you to have your health deteriorating, and you need to be focusing on that. Yet you're applying for benefits, and you're still stuck on them not even admitting that it's related to service. So I agree with Jim. Now's the time.
Yeah, and if you're using a rollator, a walker, and a lift chair in the bathroom, we might not be talking about high levels of SMC, but we're still talking about a decent rating. They would rate each leg independently. Easily be 20, 30, 40% each leg. And same thing, maybe to a lesser degree, the hands. So, at the end of the day, you could easily be talking, even if you're not talking 100%, talking 60, 80%, a couple $1,000s a month. I guess, to answer your question, depends on what's worth it to you. 100% right now pays, about $3,800 a month if you're a single veteran. So yeah, I mean, and you're closer to that than you are away from it, just from what you're saying.
And the thing is that our end goal, Michael, our end goal is to get Title 38 changed to include inclusion body myositis with ALS, which would automatically be 100%. And so yes, indeed, Michael, please, I encourage you to file the claim. Call me if you need me. Contact me through email, and I can serve everything. I can provide help with you there.
I will send you email, Jim.
Okay, very, very good. And then I can, we've got tons of supporting documentation that'll help you. Mr. Hernandez, you have been incredibly patient, and I thank you for your patience. Good morning from Western Colorado. And how can we help you? What question might you have?
Good morning. Thank you for guys. This is my first time even being part of this. My first visit with you folks, and I've learned quite a bit just listening. I have yet to file a claim, and I was diagnosed, I think, incorrectly back in 2009, and they pumped me up with a bunch of prednisone, which kind of got me better for a while. Re-diagnosed 3 years ago in 21. I'm currently going downhill real quick. I went from 60 to 0. I was one of the better pickleball players here in my community, and I used to play every day. And the last time I played was March 17th, St. Patrick's Day of 21. Since then, I'm currently using a walker just to get around the house. I can't move 3 feet. I've collapsed, even with the walker, my legs just went out. When I go out to the street, I'm on a motorized scooter when I got to put in any distance. And I also use the motorized scooter as my chair at a restaurant. I don't even get up from the chair. Yeah. I have the same problem.
Yeah, they work pretty well in restaurants. I know that for a fact.
I can't like you. I can't get up. I need
Yeah.
help. I was glad I went on a cruise recently with my grandsons. I had 4 of them, and one of them is a bull. One of them can lift me up with no problem. And he can press 400 pounds. So he would just put my arms, he'd just get me right up. So I'm using the scooter, and I've also installed into my vehicle a hydraulic lift.
Oh, good. Okay.
I can remain as independent as possible.
Yeah, that's wonderful that you got those things to help you out, because they do help. There's no question about it. The more important thing at this point right now is indeed your claim. If you have not filed a claim for disability with the VA, I encourage you to start that process. I would encourage all of you, if you are apprehensive about taking this task on individually, I would encourage you to use an accredited VSO representative, a veteran service organization or veteran service officer, someone to help you file the claim that is familiar with the claim process.
I originally went to the VA here in New Jersey, in Brick, to one of those VSO people I had met, and her response to me originally was that I think Mr. Matt and Mr. Hill dealt with that, and she said that what was my cause? There was no service related, which has been answered today. Well, the fact that I serve is the incident.
Yeah.
That was when she told me that I can't follow anything if you can't tell me why you're sick. And now I got to go back to them with everything I've done.
That's what we've run across, and it's very disappointing that you run into people that are in that way. Let's start. Have you submitted any claim papers at this point yet? I mean, have you begun the process in any way?
No.
Okay. All right. I want you to
start that.
You've got my email. I'm going to send you quite a good assortment of supporting documentation for your claim. So you email me and I'll get back to you.
Where do I get your email?
It was on. How did you find out about this? Were you included in?
Sorry, somebody sent me an email. You're right. Somebody did send me an email. You're right. That's how.
Okay, my contact is just simply jcressman@aol.com.
Okay, I got Cressman in.
Now I'm going to be out of communication here for about a week, but
okay.
In next week, send it to me, and then we'll get you the documentation you need and how to get things started. We encourage all of you.
I have a meeting with the NIH on the 22nd of May. I'll be meeting with Andrew. What the hell's his last name?
Mammon, Dr. Mammon.
Mammon. Andrew Mammon.
I'm meeting with Dr. Yago Fernandez Pinel.
Now,
I've been in twice already. This is my 3rd visit to the NIH. They're going to do testing to put all my MRIs side by side to show how I've been deteriorating over the last 3 years. I've already met with Tom Lloyd in August at Johns Hopkins. I call him my zap doctor. He just sit there and zap me all over the place with that that muscle testing. So I've done all that, and yes, I'm at a point now where, like everybody else, I walk around with an elevated. When I go anywhere I go, I got to bring my toilet with me because they don't make toilets for people like us. You got to sit with your knees in your mouth, and there's no way we're going to get up from there. So I'm thankful to all the folks. I didn't even know what this was all about 3 years ago. I thought I was alone until I got involved. I think I've met you before. I'm seeing the picture of you right in front of me. Rachel Bromley, I was at a meeting recently, a TMA meeting.
Mm-hmm.
A week ago. That was my first exposure to anyone. I think there were like 17 people at that meeting. So I thought I was alone. I'm surrounded by, I'm lucky enough to come from a family of doctors, including my own son, but nobody knows anything about this. Nobody. Everyone I talk to said, "What are you talking about?" I says,
"Yeah,
I've got IBM and it's not the blue chip stock." you know.
Well, we're gonna get all of that changed, but in the interim here, if you have not been contacted by me directly through the invitation, I send out an invitation for everybody to join. If you did not get that, it's because you're not on my contact list of veterans. Please
Hey, Jim,
send.
I can send you a update of your registration list because you probably have more than just Raphael, because that's where I get the list from. So he's on that list now because he's registered for this meeting.
Rachel, am I on that
Hey.
as well?
I will find out. I'm going to download it right now
Yeah.
and send it out.
Very
Hey,
easily, just to duplicate the effort here, send me an email from your email, and I will add you to the contact list and to the veterans contact list. And that's when I send out the notices.
I will
Hey,
do that.
hey, Jim, can I add something real quick?
Yes, sir.
You said
How about
earlier,
this?
but go into your VSO if you want to, and I agree, you guys can go to VSO if you want, but I wanted to make sure everyone knew how we're handling these claims, and I'm not soliciting anything here. We typically, as a law firm that handles appeals, want to see a rating decision that we can appeal. So we typically don't take cases right out of the gate. I just want everyone to know, and Matt may have something to say about this, we have made an exception with IBM because we already know most of the time these claims get denied out of the gate, regardless of how well they're submitted. Not all the time, but most of the time. And so if you haven't filed or with a VSO and you don't have a decision, understand we've made an exception for these cases. We will take the case. Even if you've never filed a claim, we will file it for you and get the thing going. We don't have confidence. Now we're going to do it right up front. We've established a process for this and to get it done correctly right up front, but we still don't have confidence that the first line raters are going to grant the benefit. That way, we're already on the case when the appeal starts, and that's just want everyone to know that. Jim, if you want to provide everyone my contact info, my email address, and I say that because it's better to come to me. I've already got my staff up to speed on getting the paperwork out to you. You can bypass the intake department. We've tried to update our intake department, but there's a chance they might not, you might get a hold of somebody that's just not familiar with the process, familiar with the disease. So anybody that wants us to represent them can come to me, send me a message, give me your name, address, your info. We'll get you the paperwork and we will start representing you from day one. Again, completely up to you. I'm not trying to get your business. We certainly have enough. But we also know how hard it is to get these things won up front. And at the end of the day, we expect it to get denied. Like I said, that way we can immediately get onto the appeal and just speed things up for everybody. And even that is not, not a fast process, but just want everyone to know.
I was going to put in there as well. If you're, again, this is such a nuanced area, and it's something where if you go to a general VSO, they're going to have no idea what you're talking about disease process wise. They want to see something very specific happen in service, or else they don't want to file it. The one group that I would look to if you're looking for VSOs is Paralyzed Veterans of America. They're not a very big VSO, but they deal with complex issues. And so that would be one I'd look to. And Jim, they would be a great asset for these calls. I don't have a contact there to reach out to, but if there were somebody in that organization, because they deal with catastrophically disabled veterans and they understand more nuanced medical claims. So if you were going to do a case with a VSO, that would be the one I recommend. And again, they're free. And hopefully, that they have knowledge of this already. But just a VSO kind of off the street, if you will, a county VSO or DAV or somebody, they just don't know enough about this. And they're going to try to plug you into their little, okay, I need X, Y, and Z. He didn't give me X. I'm not going to file a claim. That just does not apply here. So that would be the group I would go with if you're looking.
There you go. That's a great recommendation. And again, you got several choices. You can attempt to do this on your own, you can look to the talents of Hill Ponton to represent you, as Kerry pointed out, and this is, Kerry, thank you for pointing that out, because it is so welcoming that you would take on a case from its onset, rather than from the appeal process. So anybody who has not filed a claim and you wish to get represented by legal representation, there you go, the Hill Ponton. If you do want to use a VSO or VSO representative, then Paralyzed Veterans of America, according to Matt, because I've dealt with a lot of the VSO organizations, and I got to tell you, I've written letters that we sent out to Congress. I have sent 8 letters to the directors of each one of the large veteran service organizations, and I have heard nothing. And actually, in one case, I'm not going to name names, but we sort of had the door slammed in our face. Very, very disappointing, very upsetting. But let's go ahead and try with the Paralyzed Veterans of America was not one of them. They were let's try that with your claim process. It is up to you, but you've got the resources available now, and I encourage you to take advantage of those resources. Daniel, you've been with your hand up, and I thank you.
Jim,
yes, Jim.
Kerry, excuse me one second. Kerry, you go ahead, Kerry.
My email is kbaker@hillandponton.com. If somebody wants to post that up there, I might break the internet.
Yeah, thank you.
And if you have sent me an email and have not heard from me, please send me another one. I try to make sure that doesn't happen, but I can't guarantee things don't slip through the cracks. So,
yeah.
but kbaker@hillandponton. I need you to contact me. I mean, if you choose to do so.
Yeah, I've had other
don't
veterans.
Don't put it on the chat and expect me to be able to catch them all. So send it to me if that's what you want.
I would encourage you. I've had a couple of guys leave messages here that your email and ask me to add that to their list. I can't write things down that quickly. So again, I encourage you, send me an email. Just tell me to put you on the contact list, and then I'll copy your email address, and it's going to be much easier for me to get that done. Daniel, my apologies. Please continue.
Yes, kind of a question for Matt and Kerry. I spent 29 years in the Air Force and was over in the Vietnam area. Actually, I was stationed in Krabi, Thailand, but because of the PACT Act, now they understand that. But the problem was I was diagnosed in 2010, and I had two different muscle biopsies, one at the Jacksonville Mayo Clinic and one in Ocala by my neurologist there. And they both said, yes, you have IBM. I applied twice, did a follow-up back at that time. I guess the thing I did wrong at that time, because I was linking it to Agent Orange, because I'm 60% disabled because of ischemic heart disease. And I have a total of over 70%, actually it's 80%. But I get paid at 100% now, and have been since November of 2011, because I basically applied for unemployability because of those issues, and they accepted that. But both times that I applied for the IBM, they said disapproved. And right now, my wife, if I die of anything, somebody runs over me with a truck, my wife, because she's been my primary caregiver through the VA, they pay her because she can't work. She has to be here with me all the time. And they pay her as my primary caregiver. And the question is, because she's been that since 2011, if I die of anything, it doesn't have to be service connected, she will get the dependency indemnity compensation. And I don't want to mess that up. And I'm afraid I haven't, as I told Jim before, I haven't applied for IBM again, even though I know right now I'm in a wheelchair. I have the lift chair in the potty. She has to do 100% of the shower and all that. I got one hand that this hand, the left hand is almost useless. The right hand is going downhill. So I basically have a whole lot of things going on, but I don't know, I don't want them to say, okay, you're 100% disabled because of IBM effective now. And then we have to wait another 10 years for me
No,
to.
it won't work. It won't work that way. If you're receiving benefits at the 100% rate for anything service connected, and you've had that for 10 years or more, whether she's your caregiver or not, all right, you can get out in front of a truck and get run over tomorrow, and she's going to get DIC, whether you're non-service connected for the IBM or whether you're service connected for the IBM. The only kicker is the 100% rate for 10 years or more. That's service connected. So if the IBM at this point would only because of your inability to ambulate and all that, it would only increase you from 100% into the SMC stages. It would not impact in any way, shape, or form her potential benefits for DIC if something were to happen to you. So you're safe there.
Okay, so
I will say
right
there-
now, what should I do as far as this SMC? Should I put in again for the IBM?
I would definitely. There are benefits for you that are on the table that they are just holding back. I definitely would do that if I were you. And just to add to your concerns about your wife, I would say there is one positive benefit if if IBM were ultimately be what led to your demise and you were service connected, your wife right now would get the statutory compensation benefits. She would not be entitled to any health benefits. But if your service connected disability were to be what ultimately killed you, then she would get those health benefits as well. A lot of kind of nuances we're throwing at you, but that's just one more thing to consider.
You would want to use a 0995 form, a 20-0995, since the condition's been denied in the past. And
20-0995.
That's correct. And file for it again. You don't have to get into the SMC at this point because it has to be service connected before. That's a rating issue. Right now, you would be dealing with service connection. Once you get service connection, then you can deal with the rating issue. And for those that think that, like the other gentleman, what good would it do me and all this and that, if you're not that bad off and you file now, and it takes a year, 2, 3, or 4 years, and you get service connection, at that point, as you progress, you just have to file for an increased rating at that point. That's far easier than trying to go back and prove service connection. So that's one of the reasons you'd want to get it service connected as early as possible. If you started going downhill real quickly, God forsake, then you just file for an increased rating, and it's a matter of them examining you and seeing how worse it is and rating you accordingly. It's not proving service connection over again.
Yeah, the one thing that I will encourage each and every one of you to do that filing the claim is the very number one thing that you're going to need is a diagnosis from your doctor, whether it is from a blood test, a biopsy. You've got to show that you've got this disease. That's the very first thing you've got to do. So get that letter from your doctor that shows the diagnosis, any pathology reports, blood tests, whatever it may be, assemble those because it's going to be paramount in putting that claim in.
Yeah, I've got all those, Jim. Everything's from 2010. Do they have to be updated? I see a neurologist every 6 months here in Ocala.
Once you've been diagnosed, that's all you need. You need that initial diagnosis letter, that proof of that you've got the disease.
Yeah. I got it from both Jacksonville, from the Mayo Clinic, and from my neurologist here in Ocala.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's what I would advise on that. If you've got private treatment records out there and they're not in the VA claims file, and you're going to file for service connection, if it's already in the file, the diagnosis speaking, if it's already there because you filed in the past, Jim's right. You just need to show the diagnosis. Where those later records will be important is to show the progression. If they grant service connection, you're going to want the highest rating, and therefore you might want to submit those later records for that purpose. But you don't have to reaffirm the diagnosis. Once you have it, you have it. So that, that's where they would be most important. So you don't have to get them to file the claim. You can file the claim just with the form if you've been denied in the past. If you haven't, you can do it with a 526. And then work on getting the records at that point if you don't have.
Yeah. Kevin, you had your hand up there. Go ahead, please. If you would unmute yourself, Kevin, we'll be you. There you go.
Sorry
Thank
about
you.
that. I want to dovetail into what that gentleman just said about he went all the way back to 2010. What I would like to implore everybody on the call here that has not submitted a claim. Now I'm getting ready to submit a claim. I went all the way back into my military records and I focused in on the blood panels. Like I said, went all the way back to 1989 when I had my first 5-year physical. And when I looked at those numbers were normal, which means I did not have any muscle destruction going on 5 years into my stint in the military. However, when you look at the 2003 numbers, they tell a different story. I had a 43-point jump in my ALT number. And that right there, when you take that piece of information and then correlate all of the other ALT numbers progressively all the way up to the present day, it tells a very powerful story. So I would implore everybody to dust off your military record and go in and look at those liver enzyme tests and have them in your hip pocket as evidence. Over.
Yeah, or anything. That's what I did. I had my service connection was given to me because I found a performance report. Now this goes back to the days when Agent Orange was classified in its use in Thailand, and I had worked right where they sprayed. I went on many emergency repair things on F4s, engines running, bombs loaded, safety pins removed. And there I was up on the air intake trying to fix our equipment, and then waited right where they had sprayed between the runway and the perimeter, and to get out of the way of the jet blast. Because I will tell you that you can, from 100 feet away, you can roast marshmallows with the flames coming out of the afterburners. And so I stood off to the side, and that happened to be where they sprayed. But I found a performance report, one-page thing that they did periodically, and it just said that Sergeant Cressman was dispatched repeatedly for emergency aircraft repair on sorties waiting to launch. It was that statement in that performance report that got me the service connection, I'm convinced. So what Kevin just said, gather that information, go through everything that you have, everything, and it'll be meaningful. It'll be something that you can add to that claim and that supportive documentation. Any other questions, comments, concerns? That we have covered an enormous amount of detail today, and with Matt and with Kerry, again, you've been here a couple of times with us. You're part of the family. It's massively encouraging for you guys to be here and extend the help that you do. This is so valuable to us because it is life-changing. I will tell you that it is life-changing, and the doors that are now being opened, that all of our efforts collectively, I think have started to get the attention that it was intended for, and the doors are beginning to be opened. We have so many good things happening. The meetings with the Undersecretary of Veterans Benefits, with the studies that are going on, with the epidemiology. These things are falling into place now, and I think it was because that so many of you asked me to provide letters to your congressmen and your senators and to the Secretary of Veterans Affairs, and I've sent those all to you. You in turn have sent those out, and it's starting to reap the rewards, and it's my hope that this this progress will progress, and we will see if at least we will see inclusion body myositis be accepted as presumptive. And if we hit the grand slam, then we'll get Title 38 changed, and either they will amend Section 3.318 that includes inclusion body myositis along with ALS, where we don't have to go through this process anymore of saying what we did, where we were, where's my service connection. ALS is listed in Title 38 as, it's probably one of the shortest regulations I've ever seen, and that is that if any veteran at any time, this is the way it's worded, at any time after military service develops ALS, basically they said it is service connected. It is presumed to have been caused by your military service. It doesn't say where you served, how you served, what you did, when you served, what you were exposed to. It just said this was caused by your military service. Inclusion body myositis and ALS are so closely linked together that our ultimate goal is to get inclusion body myositis linked in that same capacity, that same terminology, either by amending Title 38, Section 3.318, or having them develop a new section to Title 38 that includes IBM. That is our ultimate goal. We can get there, but it's going to take all of us. And we've made enormous headway now, and I don't want to stop. That's why I continue to urge anyone who has not filed a claim to do so. The more claims that are submitted for inclusion body myositis, the more attention it will receive. They will start to notice. They will start to open their eyes. Their eyes have been closed. They have not noticed us before, but I'm telling you, the door is open, and the more claims that are submitted, the light is going to go on. Oh my, look at the number of guys that we have submitting these diseases. And it's just going to continue the effort. And the effort is going to be culminated in rewards to us, that our disability is going to be compensated by the VA in ways that many of us are not even aware of. You not only get your disability payments, but as Matt and Kerry have suggested, the special monthly compensation, or SMC, can increase that payment to a level which is life-changing for us. It can provide you with the benefits that you otherwise may not have been able to accomplish. So please file the claims. If you need the help, Hill Ponton is there. You can reach them on the website. Kerry Kerry, again, tell us your email contact again, please.
Yeah, I put it in the chat in case anyone doesn't know, but it's kbaker@hillandponton.com.
Pretty simple. And there you go. That's the way to contact Kerry. And Matt, yours is?
Mine is, I'm blanking there. Mine is mdhill@hillandponton.com. And
So
again, but again, you know, this place, it's funny seeing new faces here as well, and that y'all are realizing just the potency of this group and the knowledge. Knowledge is key, and I applaud leaders here in this group, and the group just getting together again and again. You got a lot of knowledge here, and you know, if you want to start on your own, I couldn't think of a better place to get both technical, medical information, and then just group knowledge on how to do this. So this is a great group.
Additionally, one of the things that I don't know if Nate made it in. I haven't seen him, but we had a meeting with Hill Ponton some weeks ago about everything that we're talking about, and I had made the comment that I was trying to put together a video. I wanted to record each little square that you see on your screens here, take one individual after another, sort of tell their story in a short form, and then stitch those together to make a video. When I shared that idea, Matt said, Jim, don't do that. We've got a full in-house video production facility and they can do it for us. So I went, hallelujah. When you share an idea with someone and they advance it, I have to admit, I was apprehensive if this was going to turn out the way I would have wanted it to turn out. And I will tell you, the documentary that Hill and Ponton put together for us, they hit a home run. They hit this thing out of the park. If you have not seen that documentary yet, do so. It's on the emails. I have sent it pretty much. It's so widespread right now. But the documentary that Hill and Ponton put together to expose inclusion body myositis, the timing was perfect because this is Myositis Awareness Month. And we have made a great number of people aware of what IBM is. With that documentary, it is getting the word out. People are starting to become aware of our disease, of our disability, and the devastation that it causes us. Hill and Ponton put together that, and we've got a petition that is linked to that. If you look at the petition, I've sent an email out. If you don't have the links to it, I'll send it out again to everybody. But it is a 40-minute documentary that profiles IBM in a very personal and very powerful level. They interviewed Dan Lowther and Alicia Lowther. They interviewed Suds up in Milwaukee. They interviewed Larry Lesher down in Florida. Myself and Augie, and we tell the story. We tell the story about what we have gone through, as well as the very personal and very physical profiles of Larry and Suds and Dan. And when you see what IBM can do to it, you cannot help but take notice. And our hats are off to Hill and Ponton for putting that together for us. Rachel, hi, you got your hand up.
I do. I actually use the Zoom etiquette instead of just jumping in. Progress.
Zoom etiquette. There's a new one.
I know. My boss, Paula, would like to take a group picture of us. I know we're about 20 minutes over. If you would be okay turning on your camera, you don't have to, and I'll let her take over in a minute. But the reason I had my hand raised is because I wanted to let y'all know that we are going to create a landing page on our TMA website that is just for this group and all the resources that we have. And we will link the petition. We will link the documentary. We will also create, and I've already sent an email to Jim and Suds and Larry and Augie, a downloadable toolkit with all the stuff that mainly Jim has compiled, the paperwork that helps everyone with their claims, with a tip sheet. And so anything you guys want to see on this resource page, let us know as we start to build it. So Paula, did you want to take a pic?
I totally want to take a pic. I did this last month when I was with the group, and those of you who received TMA's email yesterday may have seen your faces in the email because we put one of the images in there. So yes, if you're willing to come on camera, that'd be great. It'll take me a couple of tries because there are so many of us and I'll have to scroll around. So just keep smiling. Okay, we're going to do the first one now. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I have to save that one, so don't turn your camera off yet.
I want an 8x10 color glossy.
I'll send it to you, Jim. I'll send you 2 copies. You can autograph one and send the second one back to me, okay?
Wonderful.
Right. Picture number 2. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm gonna do one more just for backup in case someone is has their eyes closed or something like that. So here's the backup. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm finished. Thank you, everyone.
Rachel, let me add to you. I received, forgive me, I get so many emails from so many of our veterans here, and phone calls and emails, and forgive me, but I can't remember the name, and I apologize if you're on here. But I received an email from one of our veterans here who had taken advantage of the AI phenomenon that's going on, and he had a letter created using artificial intelligence. And the letter was about inclusion body myositis. I have a copy of that letter. It would serve as an incredibly powerful letter for a claim. So allow me, Rachel, before you post that, let me add that to that group because I just got it yesterday.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not going to
And-
post it until we get together and get everything. And that
Yeah,
includes
and it
all
is-
the links that are throwing
Yeah.
in the chat. And
Yeah, the artificial intelligence generated letter. I mean, it's good that it's artificial intelligence because that is that's the only intelligence that is used by the Veterans Administration is artificial. I've come to that conclusion, and because they don't have any real intelligence, so it's all artificial, and it should fit in just perfectly. But it is a very powerful letter, and I will post that. Again, I'm going to be tied up this week. I have family coming in, and but the next week I will be free, and then I can get a lot of this stuff taken care of. But this week is going to get crunched. But I thank you all. We're a little over. I'm going to conclude the meeting here, and again, thank you all. We've had a wonderful turnout today. We had almost 60 of us here today. It was a great turnout. Again, if you haven't received my invitations to this Zoom meeting, email me directly so I can get your name on our list, and then you'll get regular updates. But I thank each and every one of you for participating, for joining, for adding into the discussion, and for sharing your ideas and your comments. It helps all of us. Matt, Kerry, God bless you both. You guys are instrumental in advancing this whole cause to us, and it's going to continue. So to each and every one of you, don't give up. For those who have not filed a claim, again, let's get that done for you. We're here to help. We have endless resources for you, and we can get this taken care of. Again, God bless you all. I'm going to conclude the meeting. I'm going to stop recording, and I bid you all a good week.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah,
Yes,
happy Mother's
thank
Day
you.
to all the moms.
And happy Military Spouse Appreciation Day yesterday. And
Yeah,
Raphael's wife came by while we were in the meeting and saw my message about it, and so she got a hug in real time right now. So
I didn't even know that existed.
You can hear you.
it
She's
does
here.
exist, and it was yesterday. So go hug your care partners. And
Well,
also,
and again, yeah.
please, real quick, send your care partners to the Care Partner Affinity Group the third Saturday. This Saturday, so that's next weekend, and I am hosting that. And we have a very special guest speaker for care partners, and so we would love it if you had them join.
Wonderful. Rachel,
All right,
thank you.
Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah. Paula, thank you. We'll look forward to the to the 8x10s. And again, to those of us, to those of you who helped put all this together, the documentary, Alicia, God bless you, dear. You were instrumental in getting Dan, who was very reluctant to participate in this thing, but Alicia got Dan to participate in it, and it was so impactful. It really meant a lot. To Larry Lesher down in Florida, his profile was incredibly meaningful. Augie and I shared dialogue back and forth, which we hope presented a view that was unknown before. And indeed, to Suds, who shared his personal daily activities, that truly indeed made you open your eyes to what this disability can do. Suds, again, congratulations. Again, very awkward to congratulate somebody on being 100% disabled, but congratulations. Congratulations on life, but yeah, congratulations on getting the VA to be on your side. You've waited more than anybody else, and you deserve every penny and every one of the benefits and the blessings that are coming to you. So
And-
thank you for everything you've done.
And we're praying for everybody in this room to get the same results. So
And we will, with everybody's help, we'll put it together, guys. Again,
Hey, someone in
Take
the
care.
chat asked me to put the listing for the Care Partner meeting, and I don't have time before it ends, but if you go to myositis.org and click on the calendar, you will see the Care Partner meeting come up. All
And
right.
there you
Thanks,
go.
Jim. All right.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
God
Right.
bless everybody.
Guys.
Take care.